Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Gold Rush, part 24 of our Weird West D&D 4E campaign. Today is April 28th, 2025, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where Anywhere audiocasts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, you can again go to patreon.com/indooradventures and check us out there. But let's say you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on YouTube, you already support us on Twitch, and you've already joined us on Discord. The link can be found in the description down below, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or No. I already did the Patreon one. Hey, you can go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. We got t-shirts, we got posters, we got crop tops, we got throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We even have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of all of our merch currently goes to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Again, that is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel, where I may have found myself in an advertisement loop. Hey, RJ, who you playing today?
Hey everybody, my name's RJ. Today I'm playing Kid, the Genasi Sword Mage. We're both going by he, they these days.
Hello everybody, I'm LBHackEmUp, she, her, and I'm playing Trisannas, the Wild and Seeker. She goes by she, they.
Is it me? Hi. I'm also stuck in a loop. Hi, I'm Cyber. I go by he or any. Whatever you want. I play Rakel. Rakel uses she, her.
And I'm the indoor adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be playing as Carruthers Edelweiss. Human Ranger uses those he, him pronouns, and last I checked, he's doing about as well as I am in real life. Danae, take us away!
Hey, that is me. I am Danae. When you think about it, Sisyphus is in a time loop of his own, and one must imagine him happy. Today, we are playing Gold Rush, which is our Weird West adventure. Let me just jump right back in with the recap. Last time, the posse climbed the Palisades and came across the Cloudfort, the old operating base of the Compass Roves. Once inside, Triss found that she could see old memories from the place using her ghost camera. They made their way through the building, seeing vignettes of the Compass Rove's lives before the betrayal. And in the tunnels before the pass, they came across multiple signs warning them not to continue, after which they were caught in a trap. A door fell underneath Kid, and he fell into a gelatinous cube, and a door opened up behind them, and another gelatinous cube came in and blocked their way out. Oh, you know what? You guys also hacked some turrets, so we'll keep that in mind. But hey, you know what? Let's just roll into initiative. How about that for an opening?
I'm just a kid and my life is a nightmare.
We probably need it.
Oh, you know what? I'm whispering to myself because I was testing macros earlier.
Ooh.
Macros? And that's kind of
I was like, oh yeah, I never roll high. I get to go first. And I'm like, fuck, I have to go first. What do I do?
Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay. On this map, you shall see that Kid is inside a gelatinous cube. And you will also see that there is a blue line there. That's where the tripwire that he nat 20'd to see and then stepped over. And then the thing opened up underneath him.
What a dick move.
What a dick move. But, the tripwire has not been tripped yet, and this gelatinous cube has risen up out of the trapdoor and is looking like it is intending to advance on the rest of the party. So, Triss, you are at the beginning of the initiative. What should you like to do? It's been a hot minute since we've been in combat, so like if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Well, we're all gonna help each other out here. It's been a while for me too.
I haven't fought a gelatinous cube in probably 10 years.
I haven't run a gelatinous cube since 4th edition.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's all come
Okay.
together.
I think I'm gonna use my daily wildfire shot. So Triss is going to turn around and aim her gun at the one coming from behind. Did you roll the snipey things, the guns in the wall
Turrets?
into initiative? Thank
Turrets.
you. Turrets.
No, I did not, and that was intentional.
Oh, dope. Okay. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to roll.
But I appreciate you asking.
Yes.
That's a good thing to notice.
That was the one thing that I was like, okay, we talked about this. Where is my wildfire strike? Is it not on here? Rather than to the ancients, rhyme strike. Huh. Did I add that and not tell you?
Where are you looking for it? It might be called something different. We rename your powers sometimes.
That's true. It's a daily action. Is it the haunted shot?
Perhaps.
It would have been my 5th level.
Yeah, it does ongoing fire damage. I think
Yes.
that's what it
Okay,
is.
cool. All right, I'm gonna roll for that.
Okay. Oh, using a daily. Okay.
I walk. Look,
Blub,
I
blub.
can. It's a gun. There's not much I can do.
You know,
The one
fair
behind
enough.
us.
Okay, the one behind us. A 17 versus reflex. Funnily enough, a cube that is occupying all 10 cubic feet of this hallway is not very dexterous when it comes to dodging out of the way of an attack.
Dope.
It takes it.
All right. So that's gonna be 13 fire damage and an ongoing 5 fire damage. Save ends. Each enemy adjacent to the target takes 5 damage as well. So, hopefully it doesn't get that close. And I am going to, no, I'm going to stay where I am because I'm kind of in the middle already. Maybe I'll take a 5-step back.
Okay. 13 fire damage, ongoing 5, right?
Yep.
That is at the beginning of its turn.
Yeah. Yes, if that's what it doesn't say in here, but that makes sense.
Wonderful. Okay.
Okay. That's me.
Rakel, it is you next.
Kid, what you doing? Do you got a way out of there?
2 thumbs up, just out of the cube.
All right. Morbek's gonna take a jello shot.
Oh, hell yeah.
And attack the cube.
Is Morabek avoiding the tripwire?
He's biting into the cube. I assume he'd be attacking above the tripwire.
Okay, that works for me. That's definitely going to hit its will.
Okay. 9 points of damage. And then Kid and Rakel will get 2 temporary hit points.
Love that.
And I'm gonna step back. That's it.
Fair enough. Okay. Gelatinous Cube the first is going to slowly advance towards Morbek and attempt to engulf. Ooh, natural 20. I'm gonna assume that'll schlorp. Though I believe 10 acid damage is not enough to do anything to Morbek, so, kid, you've got a puppy in the lava lamp with you. And with that, the cube will move forward, taking the two of you with it, and triggering the tripwire, rolling the turrets into initiative. Is your dexterity higher or lower? Does not matter. The first turret is going to roll at disadvantage because this gelatinous cube is right next to it. But being that you guys hacked these things to be on your side, they're gonna fucking attack the thing that's near it. Oh, it has an ability for this. That's right. Sorry, this wasn't the combat that I studied for this game. I believe a 12 does not hit, but I'll double check just to be sure. It does not. So the arcane turret explodes with its please do not touch feature. And there's kind of a concussive blast. It just goes wow. And you see like the gelatinous cube just sort of like deform like rapidly. If you've ever seen like ballistics gel in slow motion, that's 100% like what happens, but it's just like too goopy and it just like, you know, absorbs the hit. The other gelatinous cube is going to start moving towards you. It will move its speed, and then I suppose it'll use its second movement to get closer. Kid, it is your turn. Oh shit! That second gelatinous cube needed to take 5 fire damage from Triss, right? And it needs to roll a saving throw. It gets a +2 to its saves, so it does not save though. Kid time.
Hello, I wish to leave.
Oh, we got Ruth on deck.
I'm gonna hit it with my Vanishing Blade ability.
Okay.
28 versus AC.
Oh, you're taking an ongoing 10 acid damage, by the way.
Thanks, boss.
28's totally gonna hit this cube. You're inside it. I really struggle to comprehend how you wouldn't hit it.
Just the kid extends a hand, finger flicks the cube, and then teleports out of it.
Wow. It is unfortunately not at maximum hit points, but you do still do the damage.
Sadness. I would like to teleport behind. Yeah. And then...
Alright, cool.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Alright, you have flanked this gelatinous cube. Ruth, it is now your turn.
Oh, Lord. Oh, jeez.
Ooh, sorry.
What's up?
Could I use my minor action to mark the cube that's next to Triss?
Mark of the cube.
Thank you.
Butt of kills.
Yeah, I will use my, I think it's a minor action. It's just part of my class feature. Yeah, minor action to designate. I will mark the same cube as my hunter's quarry. Which means that I get 1d6 damage on my quarry.
Okay. I have to keep on coming up with new
Make
things
me yellow.
for-
Yeah, I was gonna
Make
say that
you-
feels like a yellow ability.
Okay. Hey, we've made red blue and yellow. Make a wish. All the primary colors are in this cube.
Yay!
That's just mixing your jello shots.
And then let me just check here. So I am.
We've got all the colors we need to dye our Easter eggs.
So I am going to. Let's see here. I think I have to cut and run. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to move 1 square to share with this guy. And then I am going to cut and run. Roll here. So the first one is a 17 versus AC.
Oh, that is just enough to hit.
All right, sounds good. So that is going to be 10 damage.
Okay.
And as a result, because of my gift of thirsty salts, I gain 10 temporary HP.
This is a daily power, just so you know.
Oh, okay. I thought
And
that
it's not temporary HP, it's regain HP.
Oh,
so you might want to hold on to that.
I will save that then. But then I still get to shift 3 squares, and then I will use my second attack, which was the 27 with Triflix Blade, against that thing, and deal 7 damage. But I should, for the first one, I should have dealt that extra 1d6.
Okay.
So it would have been an additional 3 against the first one.
Great. Okay. Oh, the roll is already in the extra d6. It's already in the macro, and you rolled a maximum 6 on that one.
Cool,
so I'll just go ahead and use that roll.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for you, Ruth?
No, that was it. That was minor and standard.
Okay. The second arcane turret is going to... These are like wall-mounted, like old-timey Gatling guns. This one's going to spin up its barrel and fire at the gelatinous cube that is closest to it. The first one will hit. The second one will... Maybe, actually. I forgot that it was AC or reflex. It will not hit the second one. So it will only do 2 fire damage. But it gets to fire twice, and you see these arcane shots of fire just explode out of these Gatling guns. Trisannas, 'tis you!
Okie dokie. Okay. These things are close to me. I don't like that. Get away, please.
They are rapidly moving towards each other. And when I say rapidly, I mean very slowly.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, I am going to, let's see, I have Voyage of the Ancients. You hit an enemy with an area or close attack. A close attack would be like not a melee attack, right? Or a melee attack. Close, as definition.
Read again. Sorry.
You hit an enemy with an area or close attack.
Okay. Close attack is specifically like, it will say close rather than melee. It's melee and close are 2 different things. Close is usually an area attack.
Okay. Range, melee, ranged, personal. Okay. Then I am going. Oh, if I do anything that's an area attack, I'm probably gonna.
This is particularly bad for Triss, I'm realizing.
Yeah, it's alright.
That's why it's a trap.
Yeah, it sure is. Burst is different than area too.
How come Triss doesn't have max HP?
I don't know.
You order.
Okay, I will change that.
I'm fairly certain nothing has hurt you.
Yeah. I don't want to use my I will use my
How come Kid has 0 HP?
I'm gonna use my Thorn Cloud shot.
Okay.
On the one that is behind still.
Okay.
I'm gonna
you
shift
can-
5.
Yeah, okay. All right, carry on. I don't have to tell you. You got it.
No, yeah, but also I can only teleport 3. If I make the shot, there's no way I can do this without hurting anyone. Or I just get stuck between these two. They moved 2, so fuck. Fuck. Okay. I am going to move 5 feet. And
Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna
So I double checked. It's not disadvantage if you use a ranged power while adjacent to an enemy. You provoke an opportunity attack.
well, okay.
If that
I don't-
changes anything for you.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. I guess I'm gonna use. Let's see. Sorry.
It's okay.
You could have
Like I
caught me in
said,
a pinch here.
I certainly have. It's quite the squeeze.
Yeah.
And also it's been forever since we've had combat, so it
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. I was fully expecting us to have to like take a few minutes to familiarize ourselves with what was going on.
So an area attack is not a burst attack. Am I remembering that correctly?
A burst attack would count as an area attack, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then I shall do a thorn cloud shot at the one that is next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You want to provoke?
yeah. I don't, because I can only shift
mean,
3 and I don't end up in the middle
The good
of it.
news
So.
is you're not any less likely to hit.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh,
Okay.
and even better news is it natural 1 trying to hit
Dope,
you.
dope. I'm going to end up in this. Will it do damage to me as well, probably? Any creature that ends its turn within the zone takes position. Okay, but I get to shift, though. I still get a 5-foot shift. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use my Voyage of the Ancients to teleport 3 squares so I'm behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to shift 5.
Love it. Perfect.
So I will have
Wonderful.
hit it
What
bottom
a
right
niche
corner of it.
situation for that to be useful in.
Right?
And for me to have accidentally put you exactly in that situation.
So that is yes. It is going to take 15 damage, and it's burst 1 centered on the bottom right corner is where I'm deciding. Lasts until the start of my next turn. Any creature that ends its turn within this zone takes... Oh, that ends its turn. So I will then instead do that at the bottom left. So if it moves over, it might still be in it.
Okay, great.
Cool?
Cool.
Dope.
I love that.
So I'm going to put that down there.
I'm in the process of doing so now.
Cooliosis.
Cooliosis, indeed. It's a burst 1, right?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Your best. And that's all anyone can ask.
Okay. Does that look right?
Sure.
That's what it is, though. Okay. Anything else for you, Triss?
No, I'm sorry. It would have been centered on the bottom left corner of it, so all of it would be in it, and it would give them a chance to shift back once. So just move it over.
You're
5 to the right. Okay. Cool.
There. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks.
We got it. We got there.
Got it in one.
Okay. Now it is Rakel's turn. First try.
Anything weird about Morbek's attack while within the cube?
No. Nope. The only thing that happens while one is engulfed is, first of all, there's an escape DC of 15. Target is in the space until the grab ends. The target takes ongoing 10 acid damage and is dazed. Oh, that's something we probably should have mentioned.
Okay.
We'll-
Can a spirit be dazed?
I don't think so. And I don't think 10 acid damage is enough to do actual damage to him. He is
It's
grabbed.
10 plus
That-
half my level, so no.
Yeah. So he's grabbed, and that's about it. He will move whenever the cube moves, but he doesn't provoke.
Okay, but he will still be able to keep munching at Jello.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
He will do that.
You munch from within.
15 against his will.
Versus will. La, la, la. That is exactly what you need to hit its will.
Ruth get 2 HP. 2 temp HP.
Sick.
You've turned this cube into a self-powered healing machine.
This Jello shots.
Jello shots!
Yeah. And I'm going to take a 5-foot step back.
Alcohol is medicinal.
Okay. On Jello Shots' turn.
Did you realize that's what you named it in the turn order?
I'm gonna. It was definitely what it was called at the beginning of the round. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't just change that. Okay. Odds. It's gonna be Ruth. Evens. It's gonna be Kid. Odds for Ruth.
It's gonna be May.
Dun, 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 dun. 25 versus Reflex.
25 versus Reflex. Yeah, that
Yep.
gets me.
The cube like reaches out a tendril that just slowly engulfs Ruth and then pulls him in.
The last thing you hear before he's sucked in is, "This counts as a bath!"
Oh my god. It's like it also interacts with him like there's a chemical reaction like when it grabs onto Ruthie. You know like how you see like a bunch of like bubbles come up off of baking soda when you put vinegar on it? Like there's a similar thing happening with Ruth. Jello Shots is pretty happy with where it's at. I think it's gonna turn towards Kid. Arcane Turret. Scorching Barrage. 21 and 24 will hit, so that's going to be 4 damage for the first attack. And it's going to be 11 damage for the second one, bloodying this gelatinous cube. Gelatinous cube, at the beginning of its turn, is going to take 5 fire damage from Triss's attack, and it's a situation where like if it ends its turn in this square, that stuff resolves, right?
Yes,
Okay, I'm going to roll odds for Rakel, evens for
Aw.
Triss.
okay.
Odds for Rakel.
Sorry, Raquel. Goodbye, Simon.
Engulf. 17 versus Reflex, Rakel.
Yes.
Okay.
Immediate interrupt.
Oh. Oh, actually, it would be a 15, right? Because it's marked.
It
It gets a
would
minus
be
2
a
to anything that's not
15.
you.
My reflex
Yeah.
is 16.
Oh. Defender's doing his job.
You just hear the sound of a from the other side of the hallway, the
I
bullet
do
bouncing
not.
off of 3 walls.
I do not. It is on the other side of ballistic shell.
I bounce it off the roof. Anyway.
It tries to grab her, but slides right off. I think that's gonna be it for the gelatinous cube. What happens when it ends its turn in this here zone?
Sorry, I was also reading. I have Pursuit of the Hunter, which is an encounter move. I can shift 3 squares again until the end of my next turn. I deal an extra 1d6 damage. to the
Okay.
enemy, so I'm going to use that also. But yes, sorry. It is going to, let's see. Ba-ba-ba. Choose Thorn Cloud shot. The attack creates a zone. Any creature that ends its turn with the zone takes poison damage equal to my Wisdom modifier, which is 4.
Okay.
So I'm going to shift 3 to go back here. So I am away from this thing, and I get a d6 extra damage next time.
Okay. I'll put a nice little green marker on you so we remember. That's it for the gelatinous cube. Kid.
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Enemy. Okay, enemy adjacent to the. Not friends. I was gonna say the haunted shot might do damage to Rakel, but it's only enemies, so we're good.
Okay, good. Kid time.
Kid time. Ooh. No, Booming Blade is later. Okay. I'm invisible right now because of Vanishing Blade, by the way.
Of course.
So this is combat advantage. Yeah, I guess I'll just hit it.
20's gonna hit.
22 for 14 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay. We are bloodied on this one as well.
Yeah, I lose invisibility, but then I get to teleport 3 squares away. 1, 2, yeah, okay. Do I have a minor I want to do? Sorry, my sheet's very slow.
That's fair.
Uh,
I might have to go in and do some cleanup work on the Roll20 if it's chugging that hard.
I am good to go.
Okay, Ruth,
All right.
you are inside a gelatinous cube and you take 10 damage.
Oh my god. Well, that's only 8 out of my max thanks to that 2 temp HP.
Now here is an unfortunate thing I need to tell you
Am
that we
dazed.
forgot about with Kid. You are dazed. It means you only have 1 action.
Okay.
I believe that is the truth. I will double check.
Yeah. Look that up real quick.
Just to be certain. The creature doesn't get its normal complement of actions on its turn. It can either take a standard, a move, or a minor. The creature can still take free actions. They may not take immediate actions or opportunity actions. The creature grants combat advantage and may not flank.
Okay, got it. So I am going to Ruth. So like Ruth is like suspended in the gelatinous cube, and I think like he has his axe out and his knife out, and he sort of like starts tilting to the side. For any of you who have seen Demon Slayer, when Tanjiro is submerged underwater and is able to use his water breathing, this is going to be Ruth just like starts like spinning inside of the gelatinous cube. I would
Blender.
like to use my twin strike ability to attack the cube from within.
Go for it.
So the first is going to be a 28 AC. The second is going to be a 20 versus AC.
They're both gonna hit.
All right, so that's going to be a total of 17 points of damage.
Sick.
Does it have any resistances to like slashing or anything like that?
Nope, not at all.
Sick. All right. So yeah, 17 from the inside, and Ruth is just like free floating. Yep. Just spinning around, little Beyblade stuck in there.
Sick. All right. Triss, you hear the arcane turret next to you. Reload and begin to send another barrage towards the gelatinous cube. Those are both gonna hit. So 9 damage on the first one and 12 damage on the second. This gelatinous cube is barely holding on. Oh, it should have made a save at the end of its last turn. Let me just do that real quick. Nope. All right. Triss, 'Tis you. Does this zone stick around, or was it until the beginning of
Till
your
the
next
start
turn?
of my next. Yeah, so
Okay.
it is gone now.
I'm going to carefully remove this and not remove the entire map. Yes.
Okay, okay, yeah, please.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, I am going to use a no, that's not the thing. I am going to use a biting swarm this time.
Mm-hmm.
Do a ranged attack on it.
Okay.
Bite. Bite. Where you bite? Bite. Okay, so the top. 12 versus AC. Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
Okie dokie.
Anything else for you, my friend?
That is it. I'm gonna stay back here with my
Rakel.
turret friends.
Sit here with the artillery? That sounds right.
Rakel has stepped away for a moment, so Triss is going to say something pithy and go, "You stupid, stupid jello shot. How fucking dare you? Ruth didn't need a bath, and here you are.
Got him.
He's perfect the way he is."
You could use a little bit of a bath.
Well, of course, but he didn't want a bath. And this is, when you put a dog in the bathtub and they just start freaking out, even though they love water, but they just can't be bothered when it's put upon them and not when they choose to go into it.
There's a very strong like citric taste to the Jello cube because it absolutely gets in your mouth. There's kind of no way around it.
Mouth, nose.
Is it
Ruth
lime
is gonna have it,
flavored?
like all in the beard.
Yeah, sure.
It's lime flavored. I love that.
Look, this is part of the Dungeon Meshi breakdown that we didn't know that we
Yeah.
needed. Like, actually,
what's like-
gelatinous cubes are incredibly delicious.
What's really odd about it actually is that it's less like it's a gelatinous texture. Like once you get on the inside of it, it's all like liquid in there.
Oh.
Yeah,
So it
it's
has
like
a hard exterior.
it has a membrane that's permeable.
Right.
And it's like it's like a
I
single-celled organism, basically.
have a gelatinous cube.
Oh.
I like the idea
This
that
is
they
so
are
handy.
a little psionic and it's just surface tension. They're keeping themselves together with the singular brain cell.
Yeah.
The only reason why it's cube-shaped is because it's going down a square hallway.
Yeah.
Like if it like came out into the open, it would be like much rounder.
Yeah. I play Lethal
like
Company.
like a raindrop cake.
Mhm.
If anyone's ever seen those.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Rakel.
I'm sorry, did I die?
No, you're good. It's just your turn.
Morbek's gonna keep doing jello shots.
That works for me.
As soon as I find my... There we go. 20 against its will.
That definitely hits.
Ruth, take 2 more temp. Or take 2 temp. Take 2 hemp. Take 2 temp if your
I'll take
stuff
the hemp.
has expired.
But
I'm still here.
Sure
That's it.
thing. All right. Jello Shots is going to move towards Kid
Hey now.
and attack. 24 versus Fortitude.
You know what? I'll take that.
Okay. 11 acid damage and you are immobilized. Save ends. I'll put a little green dot on you to say you're immobilized. You've been gooped. Uh-oh.
You take 5 of that.
Sick.
Ooh, thanks.
What this looks like is that the cube just kind of like lifts itself up and bludgeons you. It's kind of like a non-Newtonian fluid. Like when it hits you with any sort of speed, it becomes a solid, and then like turns goopy again.
Yeah.
It's what happens
Or
to the inside of your head whenever you get shaken.
oh man, like yeah, there's all kind like there's it's like you shook up like a glitter jar on the inside. Like Ruth and Morabek are just in the spin cycle right now. Arcane Turret is going to attack the other one. Yeesh, both are gonna hit. I don't know if it's gonna survive this one. Nope, not even the first hit. So the second hit is gonna be for the second cube.
Yay.
Rakel, you hear a popping sound, and a fluid just flows around your ankles as this cube is rendered into a puddle. Second attack is going to be for the other cube. 26 will definitely hit. That's going to be 12 damage. It is not looking good. But that cube is dead, so it's Kid turn. You are immobilized, but you still have access to all your other powers.
I boop it with melee.
Okay.
28 to hit.
Pop the second.
I imagine Kid being suspended in the air when this happens. He throws his musket at the cube. It explodes, and he's hovering in the air. Coyote timing it for half a second before he whoop, teleports back down.
Ruth, you are washed. You're directly over the cube hole when this happens, so you kind of like drop into a pit. You have a much less of a soft landing than that Kid did the first time that this pit opened up. You find yourself in kind of an ankle-deep puddle with Morabek at the bottom of this pit.
Mr. Ruthie,
Tastes like limes.
are you all right?
You just look down, like his hat is just like slime and goo, just like sloughing off of him. Have you ever
Diamond goo.
thought really hard about choices that you made in your life and wondered, how did I get here? Me neither. Help me up.
The hand.
Just a
Mr. Kid.
goo-covered hand.
The turrets in the back of the hallway begin to spin down and go inert.
Well, that was quick thinking, Kid, turning those into our allies.
If it's one thing I've learned from my dads, it's to pay off the guards where you can.
A wise feat, I see.
I
Well-
want an insight check from those who care.
Including me?
Yeah, sure. This is specifically about the turrets, so.
Oh,
A 20.
A 19.
Okay. Those are
don't care.
both. I believe those are both high enough checks for you to intuit something. It's awfully odd that the turrets were so easily accessible, and the direction that they're pointing is not conducive to preventing entry, at least from your direction.
So, it occurs to me, given the context clues that we have been given,
Yeah.
that we may be headed for some sort of lair of a beast.
Oh yeah, like all these defenses,
The
they're not,
signs.
they're not keeping us out. They're keeping something in.
Mm.
Yeah,
I assume we're going to go kill that thing, right?
That was
right.
my understanding of the whole thing. Yeah.
But we could also use these traps to our own advantage if we can lure the critter out this way.
We
A
also don't
fine
know how
idea.
deep it is or how far away it is, so luring it back might be, a lot longer of a run than
Oh,
just, it's
I
around the corner, and then
imagine
we do
there
a
is
quick
going to
leg.
be. I imagine there are going to be a lot more defenses on our way there. These are just fallback points for us.
I mean, we can just change, if you want to take the time to adjust
No,
all of them as we go, more than welcome to it. Power to you.
no. I'm pretty sure the last thing that we crossed was like, no, this is the final warning. Don't go past here. We ain't gonna tell you again.
Well,
Well-
sometimes they just say that, but then they mean another thing later on in the dungeon.
It's an inanimate object. How can it mean something else?
But somebody wrote the message, and what if they're just goofing? We don't know.
This
Would
is a
people
lot of
do
effort
that?
for goofing.
Would people do that?
The Compass Roves, we goofed pretty hard sometimes.
People just leave messages that lie?
Oh, all the time.
So,
Don't ever read a tabloid.
so when I saw a message out in the woods that said crouching makes you less visible,
It does.
it does,
Well,
right?
that one does. I don't know why somebody would have put that there. Others,
even-
I've seen things
Crouching
like...
makes you lower so that you can blend in with the foliage. As long as you're not doing it in an open fucking room.
I'm not even an astronaut. How do I get to a space bar?
Look, all I'm saying is sometimes you see something written on the ground that says trust jump when you're looking off of a ledge, and that's the last thing that you should trust.
Yeah, some people can be quite heartless, but we have quite the ways to go, so shall we continue?
Sure.
Okay. Kid rolled a natural 20 to spot a trap last time. I am willing to let you ride off of that one, especially since I wasn't gonna let you get past this encounter. I spent too much time statting up these gelatinous cubes for me to let you skip it, so you can skip the rest of the traps that are in this here particular tunnel because there is a lot of them.
Aha!
I want to say that the way that you do this is by just sort of like attuning to the same frequency that the turrets were on, and it helps you point out where all the traps are. And likewise, they are mostly all pointed in the direction that you're going. Though there is the odd, bear trap just kind of like laying about. A lot of them are just like really conspicuously visible. Like, yeah, just like big old bear traps just like laying around. But some of them are like trickier, like your classic, cloth over a pit, falling rocks, swinging logs. You know, there is one that is just a box with a stick.
What's under here?
Ink.
There's a carrot.
It closes. It's a box of disintegration. Bye bye, Rin Rin.
Don't bring that up. How fucking dare you? Fucking dare you?
So cruel.
We're done professionally.
You and me are done professionally.
Like the last 3 times, sure. We meander.
But there are no more warnings after this point. You just kind of have to pick your way through a bunch of different traps. You eventually find yourself in front of a door. And the door is locked, but from your side.
Unlock the door.
Yep. Click. And then, of course, there's the latches down the door that you have to undo all of them. It gives you plenty of time to think about what you're doing.
All right. So, depending on what we see when we go inside, myself, Morabek, maybe Kid, I'll rush forward and get real up close and personal. I will use my stabby and my slashy bits. Man.
Right. Okay.
Unless
step
it's like
one.
something really sad, like what if it's being trapped here and it doesn't want to, like the big old mean cat that we found. And then we
Right.
try and talk to it, obviously, but otherwise we figure it out.
We will assess when we know what it is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Rakel's still fiddling with locks.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's a pull.
I'll just be in the back if everyone's all right with that. I did not like being right up close with that thing.
Wouldn't expect you to.
At this point, it's like a children's, like, puzzle that you could find in, like, a doctor's office. It's just like, here's all the
Playground.
different kind of clasps that there are.
Fucking loved that thing.
There's like a Velcro latch just for like.
Just
Yeah.
for funsies.
There's one that's a zipper for no reason.
Doesn't even zip on anything. It's just there.
Yeah.
We open the
And
door.
yeah, okay, you open the door. You find yourself in a dark, musty room. Your eyes adjust to the light, and you realize that this was a living quarters. A living quarters for someone who had to have been quite large, judging by the bedroll in the corner. And then the next thing that you notice is the number of tally marks scratched in the walls. There is another door on the other side of this little area, but it seems that whoever was in here spent quite some time here. There is a little wood stove in the corner with a kettle on top of it, and a journal sitting on the bedroll.
But no living creature within.
Not that you can see.
Okay. Not
There
even
is
like, looking up. Like Ocarina of Time. Is Goma climbing on the ceiling?
Good point. Yeah, that is something that I would do. I credit you. You look up and see that there is a chimney that leads out of the room from the wood stove, but no living creature occupying the roof, the ceiling.
The journal, does that look like that is also sized for a large creature, or does that look like that is
Yes.
sized? Okay.
Yeah. But if you like went and picked it up, it would be like, picture book sized.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it would look like you were it's his pocket journal,
Yeah.
It's
it
an
would be small
almanac.
for him, but it's like, just kind of an oversized book for you.
It's a big old coffee table. Yeah, Ruth will crack that bad boy open and see if it's written in common or dwarven. Most likely not.
Okay. It is in fact written in Dwarven.
Oh, hell yeah. I read that
Oh shit, I'm sorry. I thought of the wrong thing. It is in fact written in Giant.
Yeah, that's
which is
kind of what I guessed.
which is the script that Dwarven is in, but like it's not exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I pick through it and see if there are any primordial words in there?
Sure. Let me think about that for a second. And while I think about that, let me make sure that Giant is a language you can actually learn here so that this was a fair decision.
Rakel is checking out the other door.
The other door is also locked from this side, but a much more simple latch.
She starts fiddling.
Okay. Rakel focused on the forward progression.
Is the like fireplace or anything? Is anything still warm?
The wood stove,
Yeah.
cold,
Okay.
very cold as stone.
Okay.
In fact, this room is made out of stone bricks. And like the tunnels leading into here have all been stone bricks as well.
She is going to take out her camera and go, pineapple, and then take a picture.
The room does not become much brighter. There is the very dim light coming from the wood fire. We see a montage of Cirrus coming into this room, sort of like sighing, setting up, like setting down his bag and getting himself comfortable. We see shots of him like going to like mark on the wall how long he's been here. We see him come in here with materials to make traps, leave towards the trap corridor, and time passes. We see him sitting on his bedroll, just sort of like twiddling his thumbs, looking around, putting his face in his hands, seeming concerned, waiting for something. Nothing happening. Time goes on. The tally marks begin to become very numerous. He becomes more and more distraught as time goes on. At some point, we see him come to some sort of conclusion, realization, and he leaves through the door that you have not gone through yet, and does not return.
Who is the person?
Cirrus,
Giant.
Okay.
the giant. You are, Kid and Ruth are flipping through the journal. It's all written in giant runes. And eventually you come to a passage that is written in common, and it is the last passage.
What does it say?
It says, I count 3 months today. Enough time for them to have lapped the ramble twice already. They're not coming back. Ruth was right to leave when he did. There's no honor among traitors. But I kept my word. I won't be leaving this place. I set the bridge to blow this morning. If anyone reads this, you'll find me at the gate. Unless you're Joe. If that's the case, there's no way back to the ramble from here. Best crawl back in your hole.
Well,
Well,
I'm glad that he saw your perspective. Hopefully your meeting, if we do see him at the end of this, won't be as trepidatious.
well, that depends. Isolation can cause you to go a little bit, we'll say off the grid, is how that usually goes. And if the faceless animals that are turning into goo creatures that we experienced on the mountainside up are any indicator, I don't know if he's at his baseline, as it were.
What grid?
Oh, well, sometimes it's a 5x5 that people generally like move along when they really want to get into particulars about things. Or, so you know how they installed those like tap message wires?
Hey, what's on the
how-
other side of this door?
You're muted.
I am muted. You're right. Sorry, Zoom tells me at the exact same time that you do. Rakel, you throw open the door, and you hear that familiar whistling wind of the outdoors. And looking outside, you see, first of all, an iron gate, a little like walkway, like a roofed-in area, and then immediately past that is a stone bridge going over a chasm. And at the end of that bridge is some stairs leading up to a gate that is chained shut with what looks like the most enormous padlock you have ever seen.
Damn it.
And it is just frozen and encrusted with a rime of frost. And you see it move slightly.
The lock moves?
Yes, this enormous padlock at the end of the bridge moves slightly.
I'm gonna keep looking at it.
Mr. Ruthie,
Hmm.
your giant friend didn't have any capabilities to turn into something like that, did it?
Like a cloud sometimes, I think. It's been a while.
Right. Right.
But not into like form of a tower or a door or a padlock or like a giant animal.
Should I shoot it and see what it does?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to try.
All right, everybody prepare yourselves. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna take a normal shot at it.
Okay. Let me just check something real quick.
Okay, I hate that, but thank you.
It is far enough away from you that this would be considered a long distance shot
Okay.
because the bridge is quite long.
Okay. I thought he blew the
And
bridge. Is it not blown?
He said it was
the
set to
bridge
blow.
is not blown. He said it's set to blow.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Let me see what long range means because we haven't had to.
Oh, I guess that's would
Do anything
disadvantage
with
would
that.
be -2.
I've got to double check. Long range. If you use a ranged weapon and your target is farther away than the weapon's normal range, but within its long range, you can take a -2 penalty to your attack roll. You can't hit a target beyond the weapon's long range. A ranged
Okay.
power that doesn't use a weapon has a normal range but no long range. And your normal range is 20 and your long range is 40. It would be within 40 but not within 20.
Okay. So that would be a 21 to hit.
A 21 would hit.
Okay.
You fire. It's just it's a are you doing a biting swarm or just like a regular fire?
Oh, just a regular shot. Yeah.
Okay, a regular shot.
I hit basic ranged.
You hit. And it is, just quiet for a moment. And then you see this figure begin to sort of twist up. It's a slow shuddering movement as though it hasn't moved in a long time. It has chains that are like lashing it to a gate. And you see, like over 20 feet away, it's hard to like see exactly the features here, but it becomes pretty clear that what you have shot is a living creature.
Oh. Mr. the Kid, would you perhaps see if you can find any detonating items that are on this bridge? Ruthie, this might be a friend that you might wanna.
After you say that, it finishes this twisting movement, and then you hear like a little and like it takes like half a second for it to reach you. A concussive blast hits you and throws you into the back of the room.
Triss like sits up and goes, "That was my fault. We should have done the other one first. Ow. Ow. Everyone all right?"
What the hell is that?
Oh. What?
Ma. Ma-
Mop, mop, mop. Yeah, it is just this. It was just this weird, like. It was. I couldn't even call it wind. It was like you were thrown by like the aftershock of an explosion. Like it was just a force that just thoof.
Do you think that was the bridge?
Bridge is
Is the
still
bridge.
intact.
Oh, okay, we're fine then, maybe.
But that like chained creature is now standing and like squared up like with the door.
You know, I was about to ask if you could get cursed by your own law. Seems like a moot point right now.
Do you try to talk to them when we come up with a plan?
I'm sending more back over.
Okay.
To the chained up creature.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ruth will like go along with Morabek just to try and get a better view of what it is that Triss took a pot shot at.
I heard disapproving sounds from Cyber. Is this something that Rakel is going to move to prevent?
And just like, maybe don't. Maybe don't go up.
Okay. I'll trust you on this one.
Morabek begins to step out onto the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Is Morabek... What is the intent here? What is the, like, describe this for me.
I mean, Morbeck's just going forward, and I want to see if this creature is immediately going to start attacking him, and if not, Morbeck's going to jump up and bite the padlock.
Okay.
But
there is a
while
good,
we are on the other side of the bridge.
there is a good 20 feet of bridge for
Yep.
Morbeck to... Okay. Morbeck begins to walk out onto the bridge and then senses something and will not go any further.
Ha. Cool. Yeah, I hate this. I hate all of this.
Can we try to see if there are any like explosives on the
Explosives.
bridge? Yeah.
Sure. Give me nature, arcana, whatever you would roll for law.
You got it. 28.
13. I got a squint.
28 from Triss. I think that kind of like working off of Morbeck's instincts here, you can like read between the lines and determine that there's a certain point where if anyone crosses this line, the bridge will blow.
Well, she'll say quietly to the group, there are explosives, but perhaps one of us could do something about it. Well, another one of us distracts an old friend.
I'm on team distraction pieces.
I mean, are y'all going to keep shooting him?
No, I was going to just talk to him.
Right.
Okay, you can do that.
I wasn't planning on shooting nobody.
Why don't you say hello and we'll see how it goes?
Ruth will start walking out towards the chain-edged creature.
But not that
Not
far
going-
because the bridge will blow up.
Yeah.
You go too
No,
far.
I'm basically going to the point where like Morabek also is just like, no. Like Ruth like understands that marker of distance.
Yep.
Okay, you go that far, no further.
Yeah, no further than that. At least not for right now.
Okay. What do you do / say?
I think
The wind is whipping around you.
as the wind is whipping around, I think
he
Ruth.
is over 20 feet away.
Okay.
Or 20 squares away. I'm sorry.
20
Have I been
squares?
saying
Ugh.
feet all
Yeah.
this time?
You were saying feet.
20 squares
Oh,
is
that's 100
100
feet.
feet. Yes,
Yeah.
it's quite a distance.
Jeepers. And the wind
It would
is
have to be a
howling?
lot in order for it to be, yes, and it would have to be a lot for it to be long. I'm sorry, I've been a fool to describe it as such to you. It is 20 squares.
Okay. Okay. So the first thing that Ruth is going to do is just cup his hands and just holler, just, Sirius, you in here? And just see if he can holler over the sound of the roaring wind to get to his to have it fall upon some ears.
You are met with a cold silence, save for the sound of very large clanking chains as they just sway with the wind. This figure stands motionless, waiting. Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Can I ask, does the creature have ears? Or a face?
19.
That's a good point. With a 19, you are able to see that this giant creature, this person that you once knew, is different now. A little more hunched, a little more ragged, and faceless.
Great.
Chained to this gate with enormous chains.
Ruth will go back and let his friends know what he has seen.
Well, that is unfortunate.
I don't know if it started with him or if he was infected and then his influence spread or what it is about that. I just don't know what he's capable of in this state.
Do we know, is there a way to reverse this? We
Yes,
saw a little bit of it,
did
yeah.
We did some research on this. Things that we know about this disease, which in my notes I've been calling faceless hate. First of all, it is sourced from the deputy in charge of this territory. That would be Cirrus. Second of all, we have determined the cure, and it is to remove this deputy from power, to defeat him. So, like, looking around this room, you can see, like, the despair, the hopelessness that this man must have felt. The stripping of his identity of anything but a obstacle.
Well, it seems we only have one way forward. Shall I attempt to move this explosive to where he is?
Or move him onto
On
the
the
bridge,
bridge.
and then, I mean, look, I know Morbek doesn't want to, but he could still trigger it.
Right. If we can get him on the bridge.
If y'all would just do
let
me
me-
one service throughout all of this, can we try and make this one non-lethal and just stick him up at the very end? See if he'll give up his money freely.
I don't know how we would do that, Ruthie.
I don't either. But isn't that what we do? We try?
All right. For you, Ruth, of course.
That, and to be fair, even if we did try and blow him up down a bridge, he is a storm giant and they can fly.
Ooh, that is good to know.
It would just
yeah,
sort of piss him off more than it would, like, send him to a crumbly fate.
Well, all right. Get him hurt, and then tie him down.
Knock his ass out. Gulliver's Travels. We'll be the tiny people and he'll be the big man.
I'm not sure I know that story, but I believe you.
Kid is pleasantly surprised.
I'm gonna try something. Can I shoot the ground in front of him to make an impact, like towards the bridge?
Sure.
Okie dokie. I do so. Would you like me to roll for it?
No. I'll just let you do it. You shoot at the ground in front of him. And you see a slight reaction from him, like mostly just sort of like looking down at where that happened. He looks back up again, and you see his body begin to like twist and contort in the same way that it did before.
Great.
Good.
Thoomph. That concussive blast comes towards you, and you can move out of the way in time. It does take like a half second to get from him to you, and you can recognize when it's about to happen.
Perhaps to prepare, we should pin ourselves down so that we don't go flying off the edge.
I feel like at this point, that's like hanging on by our fingernails, but let's give it a shot.
Better than
looking
falling
at
to
him,
our deaths.
Just saying this because I've heard y'all say like you potentially want to try and lure him out onto the bridge. He is chained to the gate. The chains are like wrapped around his arms and his body and to the gate.
The gate.
Will it break the chains, or would it be more beneficial to leave him there?
Gotta get past him at some point.
Well, yes, but if we down him and... I mean, I could just shoot him from here for forever. Right? He can't get to us. He can just do his little blast or whatever, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, but if you piss a dog off enough, it'll go off leash.
How do we want to handle this?
Well, he ain't going nowhere, so if we want to take a quick 5...
Quick 5 sounds like a plan. I would like to use a healing
5
surge.
sounds like a great idea for the rest of us too.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and take a short rest, and we'll take a short rest in real life as well, and we'll return after break.
All right, sounds good. We will see you all shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. We're back. Hello and welcome. The CC said, "Oops, LB."
That's exactly what I said.
All right, Danae, you are muted. What a way to come back.
Sorry, I'm trying to spell things on the CC. Never mind.
It'll be fun for me.
We're on
to
a
play back.
bridge, an explosive bridge.
We are on a bridge, an explosive. Sorry, I'm the DM. I can't pull shit like that. I can't. We're not here for fun. We're not here for bits. We're here to have sad fights with our old friends. Okay. This bridge is at least 20 squares long, which is about 100 feet. You were in the middle of trying to decide exactly how you wanted to crack this walnut. The bridge, as we know from the journal, is set to blow. And there is a giant who is chained to a gate at the end of it. What do you want to do?
Are we able to identify in any way how the bridge is set to explode? Like, can we see, like, does it have, like, barrels of explosive, like, connected underneath that bridge? Or is it more, is a little bit more fine-tuned than that? Or refined, I
I would
guess.
say that the explosives are not visible from the top of the bridge. Like,
Okay.
most likely they're mounted underneath.
Gotcha. Okay.
I will also say that if this bridge were to be removed, it would be very difficult to get to the other side of it.
That's 100 feet. Okay. So we either run really, really fast or try and figure out another way.
Those are our only two options. I think we should try and dust the explosives or gold dust
Yeah,
the
Dustin.
explosives, and so we can get across and then perhaps lob them at him.
Okay. If you were able to touch them, I would allow that, but they
Okay.
are on the underside of the bridge.
That
Fair.
being said, we all do have spider boots.
That's a good point.
No.
Rakel
that's
does
right.
not have spider boots.
Well, to be fair, well, I suppose we could have someone sneakily go across to dust the explosives, and then once they are safely back, we could then start taking shots and see what happens.
Let me just double check here. Yep, you can climb at your normal speed instead. Power daily, move action. On this move action, you move with climb speed equal to your speed. So, GM,
Yes.
if I were to crawl like a Tobey Maguire on the upside down of a bridge, is this a thing that I can do?
There's nothing in the rules that says a dog can't play basketball.
That's true, but I didn't know if climbing was different than being a lizard on top of an
A
enclosure.
climb speed means that you can climb.
Oh, this is my favorite thing.
Look at me and tell me that a climb speed means that you can't cling to the underside of something. My entire career would be over.
Well, I was gonna say you let me do it in Curse of Strahd, but that was also a different edition and with a different character. That being said,
I'm not gonna let that change anything.
sick. That is what I would like to try to do with Ruth, is to get on the underside of this bridge and start just seeing if he can find the explosives. If he can, dust them.
Can we tie you off just in case?
Ah, sure. Why not?
Just in case. Okay. This is going to be a little more fraught
Yeah.
than anticipated. Perhaps the best way to resolve this situation would be a skill challenge.
Yo ho.
Full disclosure, I didn't plan on this being a skill challenge, but boy howdy, you guys decided to turn it into a process. So we shall make a skill challenge of it. If everyone would like to roll initiative for me.
Inish.
Initiatizing.
It's bad.
Well, the
Okay.
good news being, it's pretty good.
GM question.
Yes.
If Rakel had another thing to that she wanted to spend time on, would she need to exclude herself from this skill challenge?
Would you like to tell me what you're spending your time on? And you don't have to say it out loud if you don't want to. You can just type it to me if you want to keep your secrets.
I think in this time Raquel is getting a vibe on the situation and is sort of attuning herself to the spirits. And I'm getting a feeling of what he has made himself here.
Okay.
And I'm just sort of trying to make contact and manifest that here.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to have you roll into initiative anyway. You do not have to contribute to the skill challenge, but whenever we get up on your turn, we'll check in on how your investigation is going.
I would also, out of curiosity, would this be something that you would have wanted to do during a short rest, or do you want to do this during the course of the skill challenge?
I think it would be an idea that she would be getting into in the middle of the short rest, but I mean, I don't think she would have done it
Okay.
within the short rest.
Sure.
Is this something that you would like to act upon before things pop off, as it were?
Yes.
Okay. When this skill challenge resolves, we will check in with Rakel and see where we're going with this. And then we will move forward. I will make sure that you have an opportunity to do what you want, are looking to do. Okay. Triss, we're at the top of the initiative here. Things are fairly controlled thus far. You're watching Ruth get suited up and to get ready to suction cup his way along the bottom of this bridge and try to disarm some very dangerous, very powerful explosives. Explosives that are powerful enough to demolish a bridge made of iron and stone. How do you contribute to this situation?
Could I?
To either prepare him or to
Could I
control
use my
the
camera
situation?
to see a little bit how it's rigged, perhaps?
Sure. Yeah, give me a nature check.
Okie dokie. That's so low. That's a 16. I'm going to use an action point. I rolled a 3.
Okay.
That's abysmal.
Yeah, 3 on the dice.
25.
Pretty bad. Okay. I think that you take a picture, and like the 3 on the dice, the way that happens is, you get bumped a little by somebody next to you, and you accidentally take a picture of the sky, and the photo comes out showing just towers and buildings floating in midair. All of the old weird architecture, the same make as the sky trains. And in fact, you see sky trains traveling from building to building.
Things have fallen. I readjust
and then you
take
action
another picture.
point. Yeah. You will see similarly Cirrus just standing stock straight up, and with giant spider shoes crawling their way underneath the bridge. It seems that he set these up in pretty much the same way.
Can I give Ruthie an insight as to how they were set? Oh, am I the only one who can see this? I forget.
No, no.
Okay.
Everybody in the room
Yeah.
has been able to witness these visions.
Mhm.
So, Ruth, the way this contributes to your success, potential success, is Triss points out where all of the explosives are.
Okay.
It seems like it was set up so that the explosion would happen like first. It's like in stages. It doesn't all happen at once.
Yeah.
Like one part would explode, and then the next would explode, and then as things go on.
Yeah. Okay.
And it starts from your end.
Gotcha. So if we did try and haul ass, we would have just kept running and running and running while that thing fell behind us. Makes sense. Alrighty.
He spits into his palms, rubs them up a little bit, rubs them in the dirt on the floor, and then he is just going to get down like a Spider-Man and just like rope tied around his waist and just.
Starts crawling. Kid, it is your turn in the initiative. You know what? Let me go grab that skill challenge token so that we can keep track of successes.
I was gonna use athletics to chuck Ruthie.
Oh, I'm sure. There's once again, there's no
Fastball special.
rule in the rule book that says you can't.
Well, he just crawled off the cliff, so
I mean, like,
Just start swinging him above your head.
I hate to tell you, we're all like imagining this together. Like, it's all just imagination anyhow. We can retcon it.
All right, Ruthie, I'm gonna toss you as close as I can to the nearest explosive.
I mean, wait. A little short of the explosive.
Right at it. I have to refresh.
Okay, I'll just grab onto it with all my might.
Yeah,
Hopefully
and
the
then
flint and tinder I keep in my pocket for good luck doesn't hurt me in any way.
Oh my God, Ruth. Okay, here we go.
Let me just light up a cigar so I can relax. I've got my old-timey oil lantern for good luck.
Get tossed, idiot.
Oh my God.
Yoof!
30 for the folks at home.
That's pretty damn good. Ruth, you are flying through the air. And in the meantime, let's check in on Rakel. What's she up to? Rakel.
I mean,
I'm
Rakel-
not going to make you beholden to the skill challenge rules because you're not necessarily contributing, right?
right. Raquel is reaching out for the vibes in this area.
Yes.
And based off of earlier descriptions, I'm getting the sense of despair rooting themselves, being bound and unmoving.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting the sense of a stone descending to the bottom of a very, very dark lake.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
And I'm trying to just really attune to that spirit of despair,
Okay.
and just sort of feel it for a second, because I want to know, is this what you want? Is this what this place must be?
Okay. Give me a nature check.
It's funnier than 24. It's 25.
Okay. You reach out to try to communicate with the intent of this place. And it's a complicated emotion. Is it what it wants? Ultimately, no. But it is what it deems necessary It is what has to happen. And is that its heart's desire? No. It wants to be far away from this place. But this is its purpose.
Yeah, I think she's just going to be twisted up in that emotion for a bit.
Okay. Think on that. We'll come back to it. Ruth, we are finally here. You are tossed, and you latch onto something, and you find yourself clinging to a barrel that is not just like a human-sized barrel. This is a barrel fit for a giant, and you can smell gunpowder.
Love the smell of gunpowder in the morning. It smells like victory.
Ruth is going to detach himself enough so that way he can hold on to the underside of the bridge, and he's going to start dusting. An appropriate skill, I believe, for this because the winds are howling, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'd like to use endurance, which has historically worked out really well for me in the past.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to see it.
An 18.
18 is just, it's not quite enough.
I would like to use an action point.
Okay.
Because, this is not the time. Not the time for shenanigans!
It's not the time! Okay. So you're carefully dusting these explosives, and like you slip for a second, and like, you know, carefully like regain your footing, and like, you know, take a deep breath. You're like, okay, I'm fine, and you start dusting again, and accidentally dust the mechanism that's holding the crate, the barrel to the bridge, and you watch it plummet into the abyss below, and like, you know, it's sort of a whoopsie moment. It disappears quickly, and a few moments pass, and then you hear like a rumble and the ground shakes.
How many seconds go by?
Several.
Okay, is it essentially like a round is 6? Is it more than 6 seconds before the kaboom?
Yes.
Oh, good. That's very far down. I need to find a giant leaf that I can hold and just like drink it for a little bit.
At least it didn't
Tris.
explode on you.
It's true. Not yet, anyways.
Hey, yo.
Play my cards right.
Yeah.
We are in round 2.
Okay. I'm going to start to try and get a better view, or a better way of movement. The wind is howling, but wind has a pattern to it. I would like to insight the patterns of the wind to try and help Ruthie to like, okay, go now, or like for us to get across, like understanding, okay, it's going to be less powerful if we like, this is the way we move.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm down for that.
Cool.
Nice.
That's a
Natural
31.
20.
I would like to paint with all the colors of the wind, please.
Of course. This gives you an extra success, which will push you into a partial success at least, so you will not fail this skill challenge. You know, I'm eating up action points. That's good at least. Sorry, I was just having an intrusive thought. I was all like, are my skill challenges not challenging enough? Do I need to make them harder? And
I
then
rolled
was
a
like,
nat
no,
20. Give this to me.
It's fine. It's fine. I was like, no, they're plenty hard. You guys just like value winning them, so I should
Yes, we do.
let you do that. If you try hard enough, I should allow it. If you're willing to use resources. Okay. You intuit the pattern of the wind. And I think that you're able to shout at Ruthie when to go. And the wind actually helps him along a little bit to like get to the next explosive. Like you tell him to go at just the right moment, and the wind blows with him to just sort of like launch him. Like he kind of has to scramble and like stop on the ice. But he is now on the next explosive. Kid, how are you going to contribute? You are not.
Oh boy. Can I use Arcana, specifically my law, to help highlight the barrels on the underside of the bridge for Ruthie to
Remove
disable?
these parts, not these.
We're gonna need these key
Sure.
integral structure points.
Okay, yeah. I'm down for that. Arcana?
Yeah, 31.
You rolled athletics.
Oh, sorry. It's the same thing. It's 12.
Okay, well, that's fine. Kid, you're like looking from across the bridge. And I think that what you do is that you like, sorry, stop me if I'm wrong here. You could like kneel down and touch the bridge, and then like a line of gold just sort of like spreads from your hand to the explosives, and then just starts highlighting all of the next places to dust.
Your mission objective has been updated.
Okay. Rakel.
So getting tangled up in this emotion of this sinking, this being this feeling of having to be here and everything. Raquel is just, she is of two minds. One is to sort of take this stone, this sinking stone, and to just sort of wrap her hands around it and sit with it. And to sort of offer a choice. If you need to be rooted here, do you need to do it alone? Or would you like someone to sit with you? Or, and there's some, there's like this sensation of some pressure of attempting to lift it, but definitely not having enough strength on her own to do it. Or would you be okay with weighing someone else down? Or would you want your burden to be shared?
Give me a nature check.
No.
Okay.
I'm a action pointed.
Okay. Okay.
That's better.
That is
That's
better.
funnier than a 25.
I always like to narrate how the initial failed check goes, just because I feel like it helps add more context. When you suggest the idea of like sharing the burden, there is a twist of hurt to this. That the burden was supposed to be shared, that this wasn't supposed to just be its job. this was intended to be a group effort, that there was a betrayal there. And you're pushed away for a moment because their secondary objective is to keep people away from this place. Like, you're not supposed to be here. But there's still that opening there of they're hurting. They are alone and they don't like it. And someone was supposed to help them and they didn't. Ruth.
I'm on the underside of a bridge.
You sure are.
Doing my best.
You're very carefully, like, removing screws, unhooking wires. You know, like, you're dusting them as you go, but, like, it's important you do it in this order because this is a very volatile substance.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your next move?
Oh God. I would like to. Who's up after me? Tris. I would like to use an. Can I use an athletics check for this?
I believe so. A kid used an Arcana check before. It was the same
Okay.
modifier.
Yeah, then I will definitely use athletics to try and have a surgeon's hands about the whole thing because it is cold. I am upside down. It took longer than 6 seconds for a giant thing to explode when it fell, and I think there's that sort of realization of just like, oh, that is very far down, and I am upside down right now. Even though he is tied off, he's still scared, so athletics.
Okay.
21.
That is a success. And that will be enough to give you guys a full... Wait, hold on. Yes, that will be enough to give you guys a full success on this skill challenge. So I'm going to narrate how this goes. You finish dusting this enormous explosive, and as you feel like the understanding of how this thing works enter your mind, you kind of give a little sigh of relief. You nimbly climb your way up onto the bridge, and you hop down. And as you do so, something snaps up and grabs onto your leg. And, you know, there's kind of like that moment of shock of like, oh no, like, danger, bad. But the first thing you notice is that there's no pain. And then you like look down, and you see it's kind of like an iron like ski boot that has like grabbed onto your foot. And written in Dwarvish, like on the toe of it, so that like you can see, it says, "Nice shoe, Joe."
What the hell is this?
Looking down at it, there's like a couple of different latches and things, some buttons and such.
Yeah, he'll start fucking with his boot. And like give the like wave on to the party when they can, but he's gonna just like start fiddling with this boot that he has on now.
You fiddle with this boot and like you find like a latch or a button or a lever to pull, and like the toe sort of like does this flickering motion as what appears to be a mechanical eye like turns and like points at you for a second. It blinks, flips back, and then the boot opens up.
I'm just gonna keep that one to myself.
Yikes. So should the rest of us move across, or?
I want to check in on Rakel first.
I think Raquel just wants to sit with the rock.
Okay. you see your friends begin to cross the bridge.
Ruth.
Eh. Hello. Everybody
Wait.
good? Okay, I think it was me then.
What happened?
Try that one more time.
Ruth, what happened?
Well, first, I went under. I started getting them all as I was going, and then...
No.
Oh.
No. What happened? Why is Cirrus here?
Well,
Why were the robes here?
well, the Roves were here because we figured that this was good, kind of blockade, last stop, able to be a point of safe exit for people going west or east, depending on how they wanted to set things up. At least that's all I was told at the time. As far as being set up, I'm starting to have some second guesses based off of the pictures that Miss Triss has been taking throughout this whole period of time. But all things considered, it was supposed to be a nice place to center your base of operations. Then, based on the pictures that Triss took that we saw earlier in there, it seemed like Miss Sissy and Sparky had to get out of here something quick, old Six Spurs. Not really sure what, though. What for?
I mean, I don't know if you can make sense of this, but I'm I, I'm feeling some hurt. I'm feeling I'm I don't know. This doesn't seem like it seems like he's trying to stop everything from going through that, and he needed help. He needed people to share this with him. Right now, he's just stuck. Was there... I don't know. I feel like somebody needs to sit with him.
That I can do. Are you communicating with him right there, right now?
I'm not communicating with him. I'm communicating with what he's feeling. And what I'm feeling is just a sinking boulder. And it's fucking heavy.
I could get that. When I left, things were starting to get rocky at the Compass Roves at best. After I left, 4 against 1 betrayal against one of our best friends, our leader. Sirius wasn't one to be the individual to put that on the forefront. I'm guessing he was just following the group mentality. That eats at a person too. If he was told to stay here by Miss Sissy, and she never came back, there are some of us who go our entire lives hoping that we're forgotten. And I think somewhere along the line, Sirius realized he wanted to be remembered, but the only people who could remember him Y'all either dead, dying, or gone. He needs help. And Ruth turns to look at the bridge. And I'm going to give it to him. And he'll just start walking.
We've got your back, Ruthie.
I know it. Wouldn't be alive if you didn't.
Tie yourself off before you get too far, just in case he does that exploding thing again.
Alrighty. And if I come back and I don't have a face, kid, throw me over the bridge.
Was there any other option?
I mean, there were plenty of options that involved cutting, stabbing, shooting, burning, and I'd just rather you throw me.
I will respect your wishes.
I appreciate it.
Rakel is going to try to find the strength to get up and go with Ruth.
I'll go about halfway across the bridge. Have my rifle at the ready. I don't trust people. Especially ones that don't have faces.
Kid 2 will follow.
Okay. You all start walking down this bridge, the wind howling around you. The giant woefully not getting in sort of an uncomfortable way. You know, like when you're far away from something and you can't quite tell how large it is, or, you know, if it's just the perspective. You, like, begin to realize he's larger than you would like him to be. I mean, Ruth, of course, is familiar with this, but he looks different. As I said, slouched, haggard, chained to this gate, and ultimately faceless. Where his face should be, there is just a twisted, featureless mound of flesh. He stands sort of hunched, squared in your direction, as though he might try that concussive blast again. But he does wait for you to approach. When you get within... let me double check something real quick. This button, and then this button, and then I can find... Yes, okay. 5 times 5 is 25. When you get within roughly 25 feet of him, it's like you step through the doors of a sauna, though instead of heat, it's like you're walking into this oppressive hatred, just this toiling, emotional, like, festering. And it's just it's a frustration that makes every muscle in your body tense. And you have to, like, physically push down this irritation in order to continue to approach non-threateningly. Kid, you're here. You have felt this before. It's the faceless hate, but it is more powerful than ever before.
God, it feels like my eyes are gonna screw back up.
Blinking.
Sorry, one more time.
Keep blinking so that your eyes get some water.
Bzz, bzz.
While you are intent to not fight, this will have no mechanical effect on you. But if we roll initiative, it will.
All right.
How close do you get?
I will. I'm gonna try and get up to. I'm assuming he's wearing a shoe of some sort.
Yes.
I will try and get up to the shoe.
Okay. You get up to the shoe, and this featureless face is just turned towards you.
Is there like so? It's all the facial features are gone. Are there still ears?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
I mean, like this guy usually wore like a bunch of like furs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you get the idea that he might be able to hear you, but whether or not he can respond is up in the air.
Yeah. Ruth is going to say, I don't think he'll say anything necessarily. He'll take out his axe, put it on the flat side, and against the shoe, do a shave and a haircut.
Okay.
Just,
All
or that's not shaving a haircut.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You knock the first part of shave and a haircut. He continues to loom over you, but there's no response.
You used to have a sense of humor.
And Ruth will just start like climbing up this giant.
Okay. You're able to. This giant is a good 10 to 15 feet tall. He's pushing 20. You are able to like scale him and then, like settle yourself on his shoulder. He does not regard you. He continues to stare forward.
I honestly didn't think I'd ever see you again. It's been a long time. I'm here with some friends. Wish you could have met the missus. Wish you could have met the boy. It's been a long time, Saul. Sorry, Cirrus. I think you deserve a rest, or at least to see the sun. You were the best of them, bar none, and I am so sorry. It seems like you are in the worst way. I would say if you ever needed a shoulder to cry on, you could have mine, but I'm pretty sure you'd need eyes for it, as well as, well, I don't know if our size difference works in that kind of way. Maybe if you got smaller, I got bigger. We'll find a potion or something. I'm sure it'll happen one of these days. You don't have to do this anymore. It's just me and you. We're the only ones left.
And Ruth will just like put his top half torso against the side of the face of the giant.
I am debating seriously.
And he opens his mouth, fucking eats me.
He don't got
What
no
mouth?
mouth. He
That-
have no face.
That's the body horror element.
The scariest part, actually, it would be very scary if he like just sort of like absorbed you like wax,
Slurp.
like doll style. No. Don't give me ideas. This is not how I expected today to go. All right.
Clearly, they'll fight the chained up giant who is also incredibly sad.
He looks so sad. I laid it on a little too thick. I should have made him scarier. He doesn't respond. Rakel, you're watching from the floor.
I mean, whenever Ruth sort of sinks into him, like Rakel will also just let herself sink into the ground by his foot, and she'll sort of reach her hand up for Kit to join her.
It'll pop a squat next to Rakel.
You might start to get the sense of a very heavy weight that is both there and not. You're in the sinking rock metaphor now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Welcome
in the aura.
Welcome to the metaphor.
I'm in the aura of Buzzkill. Got it.
No, you're in the therapy room now.
No.
This feeling of irritation, this inclination that you might lash out even at your friends, begins to give way to this overwhelming despair. Just kind of being dragged down and stuck in one place and unable to escape. Like, even if you tried to stand up at this point, it would be very difficult. Triss, from the bridge, you watch everybody give the giant a hug.
So he's 3 times grappled, eh?
Yeah, right. Right. So,
Plus
she,
6 to shoot, huh?
yeah. She will shoulder her rifle and move closer. And get up close to it and pat the leg. And say,
You also walk into the hate sauna, and
Yeah.
feel what everybody else has been feeling.
I feel this all the time. This
Oh.
is not new to Trish.
I've had worse.
Yeah, right. I hate everyone but the 3 people in this room.
Oh.
So she will say up to him, I know that your people have abandoned you and you feel like you gotta carry this weight by yourself. But Ruthie is here. We are here. If we can help shoulder this burden, well, we're quite strong, emotionally and physically. Let us help you.
Okay.
I want to be like, if it helps, the others are dead anyway. I'm not gonna say that.
You say this, and you all have okay. All right. Okay. I can work this. I'm no, seriously. Like, what? Guys, you're seriously gonna try and solve this with the power of friendship?
And
Yeah.
I can
love.
fucking no, I'll play ball. I can run with the best of them. Okay.
If there's one thing Danae knows, it's that friendship is magic.
It's so true. Okay.
Raquel's not even seeing this from friendship. She's just like misery loves company.
Of course.
Yeah, these
and I'm
rocks are
here.
sitting here and they're starting to grow moss.
Triss, you're standing next to the giant. You have your hand on his leg. And like you feel a pain in your knee and you realize that you've been pressed to the ground. by this oppressive despair. And you find yourself sitting next to him, unable to stand any longer. And the four of you are bound to this giant, feeling the weight of his purpose, the weight of his depression. And there is a frightening moment where you realize that this may be the place that your journey ends. You may never stand again. And it's at that moment where there is a glint of light. I'll say probably falls out of Ruth's pocket and clatters to the ground in front of Rakel. And it's one of the deputies' badges. One falls out of Kid's pocket, and one falls out of Triss's pocket as well. It's the 3 badges of the other deputies. And for the first time since he, sent those concussive blasts your way, you see the giant move minusculely. His face turns down to regard these badges. And there is that sinking gut feeling, Ruth, of falling as the giant just slowly descends to take a knee in front of those badges and looks at them glinting in the snow.
Okay, so this affliction that he has, it is magically based, right?
Mm-hmm. It's based in his law.
Yeah. Is there a way that we can try to reverse it together? To like take some of that burden from him and rewrite his law so that he can go back to the way he was?
Kind of think that he has to.
Oh,
Perhaps.
because I was thinking I could touch his physical spirit in a way that could, like, go past all of this.
I think it's a little a column A. I think it's a little a column B. I feel like with these badges, him, like, coming to the realization that those deputies are never coming back, or in some way they have come back, like, reaching some sort of closure here has opened the door, created a chink in the armor, as it were, for y'all to get in there and try to work some magic.
I would like to do that, please.
Okay, I would like to hear what your plan is. What would you like to do?
I'm hugging his boulder.
How about you guys work together on this one? Can we see a friendship is magic style, like, let's all work together on this one sort of situation? Everybody roll your how you say your law crafting skills, and basically do a group skill check. I point my gun at
Rakel, would you like to... Jesus, did you...
I did worse.
Can I give one of my action points to Rakel for this?
For this one,
I've got one more.
Okay.
Oh, hold up.
You have an ability.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been hugging his rock this whole time.
Yeah.
I've been hugging his despair.
That's exactly what that is.
Hug that rock.
29.
Let's go.
You ever hugged the despair of a giant with your friends?
No, but I hugged my own, and that helped.
I think what Triss does is she, like, in touching him, feels that chink, and she immediately, like, uses her abilities to, like, kind of like water, go into that chink and try and, like, grab the spirit on the other side. to like hold it so that the doorway is
To-
open.
Yeah, to not let it like retreat back into
Yeah.
its despair. Yeah, okay. So like in Triss does that. Triss holds it in place, so the rest of you have an opportunity to have some influence here. This giant, this creature, Cirrus, the nature of his law is to keep people out and to stay here, be trapped here, to have his purpose here. What do you want to do to his law to rewrite it?
I think revert it, right? Like take him back to where he was when he first started sitting here. Before he became faceless, before he like fully went into his despair, right?
So, in the depths of his despair, as we ascended the mountain, there was a base rule of law that was, what was it? Go back?
Keep
Turn
out.
Could I use my Arcana to change keep to let?
No, we still don't know what's behind this door. We don't want to let out whatever is behind this door. We want him to.
No.
Well, this is the door that's blocking the palisade, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like he's holding this door.
Yeah, as the
He's
last
chained
guardian
himself
for it.
to it. Yeah.
Well, I would like to apply let out to Cirrus.
Have a good cry about it.
Have a good cry about it. Let it all out, bud.
Okay. How about everybody comes up with a rule?
Okay.
I like this. I like Kid changing it to let out. What kind of rule would everybody else like to contribute?
I would like to change turn back if possible, instead of being like a repelling thing, be more of a like a revert to previous state.
Turn back. So just changing the actual meaning of it. It's
like-
like turn back, go away, to turn back,
Revert.
become who you were before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so not repel, but revert. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought
All
you were
right.
gonna change it to turn up.
Turn down. for
Turn
what?
down for whoop-a-doo-doo-doo.
All right, I need rules. I'm gonna get a rule from Triss next. I'll come
Triss-
to Rakel last.
Triss is going to change alone to together. So holding the door by himself, being alone, to allowing us to help him. Does that work?
Okay. Okay. Rakel.
Raquel still isn't super on board with rewriting the law. But what she can do is take the rock that's starting to gather moss and just give it a little push.
Okay.
Have it start rolling.
Okay. A object at rest tends to stay at rest. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. You give it that momentum. When you do this, something seems to click into place. You have a revelation. You think of the ritual that you used to protect your friends from this very affliction. And there is a lot of law and a lot of power being exerted here in both directions, as he tries to oppress you all, and as you try to release him from his own, the cage that is his own mind. You find a way to push that and make a change. You are going to learn a ritual. And the way that this works is that between the four of you, I want you to scrape together 930 gold.
Done. I'll deposit 300.
I got it, guys. I can pay all of it.
Oh, okay.
I have 4,000 gold.
Oh,
Big spender
don't
over here. Someone wasn't spending all of their money on dynamite all the time.
You know what? I'm trying to send my money home for my family, so no, I'm
Wow.
not spending
Wow.
frivolously.
Wow.
How much
Dynamite
gold was it?
Frivolous.
Wow, dynamite.
930.
930.
my family's dead.
I got to talk to one of them, so.
Cool.
Miss Mia.
I'm sending this to you, Cyber. You learn this ritual, and it is cast in this moment. Through the help of your friends, basically. You all channel your law together in order to cast the ritual Remove Affliction. And I think that the way that this looks is that we cut to the outside, and like you all have been sort of pressed into the giant, and the chains that like were holding him to the gate have started to slowly snake around you and chain you all together to keep you here. Those chains begin to glow gold, with this luminous light, and then they turn into dust, the same gold dust that happens whenever a ritual is cast, and that gold is just dissolved into the atmosphere. In fact, more gold begins to slough off of Cirrus himself, and you're kind of like pushed away by the like force of like this like wave of gold that just kind of like rolls off of him, and like it seemed to be weighing him down. When like there's a raucous sound of metal coins just like showering off of him, and then laying in piles around him. The chains are gone, and he just has his head down for a moment.
And
Ruth,
he takes
you've
damage
kind
equal
of
to 1/2 visit points.
cool. Yeah, he looks pretty rough sitting here. He coughs, and like you see like a splatter of blood on the snow in front of him. Ruth, you have tumbled off of his shoulder, as this was a fairly I don't want to say violent action. It was
A raucous cough.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah. And he just kind of like crouches there shivering, like being near him. Like I'd say, Triss, you had your hand on him before. You can feel he's very thin.
Ruth is just sort of getting up and sees the blood cough and just like puts his hand on Sirius's back as best he can and just says, "Hey, got a mouth again. That's something."
Triss passes Ruth a potion of healing. For him, not for
He
not for
tries to speak, but his voice sounds cracked and ragged. that potion of healing is passed in his direction.
Yeah. Give him the potion of healing. Pull out a water skin.
It's tiny. He knocks it back like a shot. As he does so, you can see, like he do got that face. Big, long, bushy beard, but like just these gaunt eyes, a haunted expression, a shell of the giant he used to be. And he just sort of like looks at you, Ruth, with like disbelief in his eyes. I like in his wanted poster, he has this very like serious like look on his face, and you can't see his eyes at all. But like they are wide open, and you are inches from his face, and they are just this icy blue as he stares at you.
I brought your favorite.
And Ruth will pull out his can of endless beans.
Well, always more than enough to share with this can.
He reaches for the can, and then just sort of leans forward and swoops you up into a hug.
Oof.
Oh.
Big hug.
What are you doing here?
Same thing I've always been trying to do. Make it through the pass. Making sure to say hello to a friend on the way.
He sort of like looks around bewildered. He sees Kid and Rakel and Triss and like kind of looks confused, like he doesn't know who you are.
Oh, these are my friends.
And he'll make the introductions.
How do you do?
Sir?
Just this wide-eyed look as his gaze scans across you guys. Like you see his eyes fix on your camera for a second, Triss, and then he seems to remember his manners, and he kind of coughs and looks away. You all need to leave. You can't be here.
Why's that?
There's traps, explosives. The bridge. He like looks up, and like the bridge is intact. And
Traps disarmed. Explosives removed. Turrets taken down. You're not as crafty as you think you are, especially leaving up all those signs like it was. Come on, let's get you to a place of rest, huh?
Hold on, Ruthie. You're protecting this door. There is something behind it you don't want out.
He like was looking more and more alarmed as like Ruth was naming off all of the precautions that were removed. And he looks at Triss like she's the only one here with any sense, and he's like, "Yes, this door cannot open."
Why is that?
Did the boy not come to you? Did he not deliver the message?
What boy? Oh,
Barkeys.
you mean the Six Bears or whatever his name was? No, he never showed up. No message ever came through. I did meet him though. Must have just been lost in the post or something.
That explains why they never came back. Joe must never come through this door. And as he says that, I think that's probably the best place for us to leave off this week.
Hell
God,
yeah.
tonight went so fucking fast, guys. I'm like, what? Oh, no!
Well, as it turns out, time flies when you're having fun, but we always have fun whenever these folks are on the channel. Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I am Danae, and you can find me at DanaeKeener.com, which is a website that has my art, because I do art about Dungeons and Dragons, and a lot of things on this channel, so go there and check it out. DanaeKeener.com.
Hey everybody, my name is RJ. You catch me at RJustice282 on all the socials where I normally retweet whenever we go live. Aside from this and the Saturday game over at GGK, I have a Tuesday game where we play Heart, the City Below. I am a junk mage who, he's a bard. He's basically a bard. It's a good time. DnD.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on Instagram and on Blue Sky. You can find me at Hack Recklessly on Twitch and on YouTube, where we stream games. Thursday, they're doing party games. Friday, Ren and I are finishing, Split Fiction, which we just didn't get to the end of this week. So we'll do that. And then on Sunday, we'll be back. We're going to be playing Monster Con, which is the new Monster Prom game that came out. I'm very excited. Hopefully everyone will dress up. I hope. But yeah, that's me.
Boy,
DnDkeener.com. I'm so sorry.
boy, I'm Cyber. Sitting here to remind you that whenever you're depressed, sometimes you just need to touch a rock. It won't make you feel better, but you'll be touching a rock, which is pretty cool. On cyberwolf1.com on Blue Sky, and also the actual website. I run the Planescape game on Sundays sometimes, and sometimes I stream, but you know what? We're figuring it out, because I'm sitting here with my depression rock. DnDkeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/IndoorAdventures. We do shows like this on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on Sundays at 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time when we can, doing the best that we are able to. As it turns out, life can move pretty fast, so we're doing the best that we can to get games out when we're able. But hopefully scheduling continues to be smooth sailing and we can keep doing this adventure as best as we can. But if this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/IndoorAdventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be heading out to possibly do our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on the Discord. The link is in the description of this video or audio cast down below. Hop in that questions for the courts chat. We'll make sure to respond to your question. But with that being said, I would like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop by. Thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And Danae, thank you so much for running this incredible campaign, because I don't think any of us know the rules of 4th edition other than the GM. So we're here, we're in it, we're having a great time, and we will see all of you next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!